what does a conscious host look like? How does the conscious host have to be in order to attract, engage, and support this type of customer? And what we feel is there's probably about 5 or 6 things that they need to focus on. The first is demonstrate that a leadership in their community, that they're consciously aware of what they're doing. So that means a certain amount of self-knowledge. So in our leadership program, we're actually not starting with the product. We're starting with the person. We're starting with the operator. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are your values? What is the reason you're in business in the first place? What is it you're trying to achieve? If you just have a focus on making money, chances are you won't be as successful as somebody who says, I want to make this a better experience or a better place, or in some way have a higher purpose to what they're doing. So a lot of focus is really on values and making decisions based on those values. So knowing who they are and what they stand for. Second aspect of it is creating a culture in their organization, their company. It doesn't matter if it's 3 people or 300. That is a culture of what we call caring. Because that's going to speak volumes in the marketplace. Secondly, it all comes down to that experience that their customer has. They have to now think through every step of the customer's engagement, and it's not just about a nice bed. It's not about the amenities in a hotel room. It's about the experience. And recognizing that if they're a hotelier, for example, they're only providing one small part of that. So how do they work collaboratively in their community to provide what we call transformative experiences? Because this new conscious traveler actually is looking for meaning. They're really wanting to go home changed. So how do you make it so special and so unique to that particular trip that people won't forget it and it will change them in some way? Now the other thing that's happening in business outside of tourism is a growing, you'll see the term conscious capitalism starting to emerge. And there are some very successful companies, Whole Foods, Starbucks, Patagonia, LL Bean, Southwest Airlines, Kimpton Hotels. These are just examples of companies that have come together and said, we want to tweak capitalism so that we can have capitalism, but it works. And they're calling it conscious capitalism. Now, one of the traits they have is this higher purpose. The other one is that they're saying, we're responsible not just to the shareholder, we're responsible to a number of stakeholders, and we have to hold them each in mind and basically generate good value for every one of them. So we have employees. That means we have to take care of our employees. We have to create a working environment that enables them to flourish and grow and be as creative and productive as they can be. We obviously want to, as I said before, take care of our guests. But we're also embedded in a community. So we have to take care of the community. We have to make sure that we're welcome in that community. We don't want to be like a Walmart as it was a few years ago when nobody wanted a Walmart in their community. We want to be welcomed and we want to be seen as being leaders. We need to work with our suppliers to make sure that they're also adhering to the same standards and responsible approaches that we're taking. So it's very much bringing together all those stakeholders together. And I think you can take all of the technical jargon out of it. And to me, the word is, show that you care. Now, another part of that is caring for the environment in which you are operating. So show you care by living in harmony with it. And that means being responsible, reducing your waste, and having the least impact and using the least number of resources. So all of that sustainability stuff around energy and so on comes into this idea of showing that you care. And similarly, and particularly in overseas destinations, where there are a number of minority cultures, making sure that you care about the cultural diversity in your community as well. So we've got, leadership experiences, showing you care, and then another part of it is marketing has changed. So we call it conscious marketing, and that's conversational marketing, social marketing. You really need to be equipped are knowledgeable and skilled in this area. So that will form an important part of how we develop a conscious host. And the fifth, and I think really very important feature of a conscious host, is to recognize that every trip that takes place in a particular location. It's getting back that sense of place, the distinct sense of place. So that if I come to your resort, I know exactly where it is when I wake up in the morning. I'm in no doubt that I'm in Samoa, for example, or I'm in no doubt that I'm in Mongolia. I know exactly where I am. It doesn't look the same. So really being able to reach deeply into the community to find ways of communicating and celebrating the mystery and magic of a place. I think we've lost that in tourism because it became a commodity. So that, that's a number of different elements of what it means to be a conscious host.